Surprise, I'm awake. I bet a lot of people, including me, would probably benefit if I had a proper stream schedule, huh? That's just a music, though. Not foreshadowing anything. I don't know if I'll ever be able to manage one of those. Not with my sleep schedule. It makes it really tough. Alright. Alright, bear with me here. Woke up a little while ago. It's rainy today too, so it's naturally like one of those sleepy days. But I think streaming will help me stay awake, actually. Otherwise, I tend to get sidetracked and browse Twitter and watch YouTube and not get things done. Then I go take a nap. Let's not have that happen. I have things I want to do. I want to finish episode 2, then I want to try some specific stuff in Cataclysm today. That's my plan right now. Right there, almost as though it had been addressed to me, was a Western envelope. It was that envelope from before, with the seal of the one-winged eagle. And it was unopened. What? Wait. What is this? Who put it in a place like this, and when? Until I went with everyone to check the corpses, I was sitting here the whole time. And there wasn't anything there then. When I returned, it was here. It's okay. Everything's still locked up securely. This room is safe. I heard Rosa muttering that. Wait. We made sure this room was safe when we left it. We checked that the windows were all perfectly locked. Then we locked it up, came back, and the windows were still locked. And wait, who put this letter here and how? Yeah, so the 4 of them... no, 3 of them? 3 of them, right? Battler, Rosa, and Maria were here in the parlor, but they went to check some bodies with Genji and the others. Excuse me? Can you not? X. Allie, please, come on. Hey, no tension between you guys, come on. Put you down this way, then. Anyway. Yeah, so they locked up the room, locked the door, locked all the windows, came back. Now there's an envelope there that shouldn't be there. 2 pieces of stationery came out. First page had a magic circle drawn on it with something like blood. If I asked Maria, she'd probably know what it meant. And there was writing on the other page. Have you made progress in solving the epitaph? No. In just a short while, your time will be up in a flash. The 9th twilight will begin quite soon. There was no mistake. It was a letter from Beatrice. It's a letter from our witch. Ooh? Battler. What is that? When we came here just now, it was sitting right here. What happened, Maria? Huh? Battler couldn't... That letter. But wait, it was sitting right here. Why? Even though we checked to make sure this room was locked. Why? Oh no. Rose is making a choice in her head right now. Maria, come here. Rosa closed her eyes just a little, and after thinking silently for a moment, told Maria to come. Maria obeyed her mother's words. As she did, something unbelievable happened. Rosa pointed the barrel of that gun at me. Battler-kun, I've concluded that you are a wolf. But why? When I came into the room just now, I saw that there was nothing at all on the table. And I know that Maria did not approach that table. We're talking about a short stretch of time, but the only one who claims to have approached the table and found the letter is you. Can you... Wait, that's all screwed up. Why would I put something like this here? Wait, I just found something suspicious and reported it, right? Why are you suspecting me? Like, you find a bug in an MMO, like a duplication bug by mistake, and you get banned. They don't fix the bug. Because only you could have set that letter there. That's right, this is all a charade. You pulled an envelope from your pocket and then acted as though you just found it, to create the illusion that the witch entered a closed room, set down a letter, and left. Dumbass, are you thinking like that again? Are you going to suspect me because of something like that? Cut it out. My dad and everyone else were killed. Why would I take part in the culprit scheme? Oh, and last time I did forget to check the updated profiles in here too. I don't think there's anything too much though. 7th twilight is finished. The cook was cooked. Oh, he gets like an extra line. George 2. Enchanted. Yep. Nothing too revealing there. True. Even if you were offered a large sum of money, I don't want to believe in the existence of the sort of demon who could sell out their own parents. And again, maybe such a demon does exist. No, that's a bad way to say it. What if you didn't view Rudolph Nissan and Kirie-san as your parents? But what? Think about what you're saying. Dad is dad, right? Of course, I'm not related to Kirie-san by blood, but she's like a big sister to me. No way in hell would I comment like that, swat, you bastard. Ooh, stop it. Ooh. Stop saying ooh. I'm sorry, that was a bad way to put it. True, Ushimura Battler could may be Rudolph Nissan's child. But are you really that Battler could? What the hell are you talking about? If I'm not Battler, who else do I look like? All of us, including Rudolph Nissan, are seeing you for the first time in 6 years. No one can prove that you really are Ushimura Battler, right? Maybe you aren't Battler, but someone who snuck in, making a skillful bid to steal the wealth of the Ushimura family. Can you clearly prove that you're Ushimura Battler? Right here, right now. Get out, damn it. I'm me. Do you not have an ID on him? Come on, Battler. She would just say, oh, you killed the real Battler and stole his ID, though. She's like so set in her ways, there's no convincing her. If you're gonna suspect even things like that, are you really Ushimura Rosa? I'm myself, no one else. Yeah, that's right, it's just as you say. You can't trust anyone but corpses in yourself. If you're gonna go that far, let me make an objection. George Anaki and the others are found dead, and out Naotsi's room is locked. George Anaki had the key to that room, right? And by now, the only one with a master key is you, Aunt Rosa, right? Aren't you the only one who could have unlocked that room? My theory goes like this. You're in contact with the real culprit, and when he wasn't looking, you lent them one of the 5 master keys. I didn't do something like that. See, there are 5 of them here, right? As if that matters. You could have had them set in a prearranged spot and collected it, right? And weren't you the one who doubted whether there were really 5 master keys? Remember, like, they don't have the red truth, unfortunately, so they can still argue all they want. So how do you suggest that someone other than yourself placed that letter there? Until you find proof someone else did it, you're a wolf. Shut up. Then why don't you show me some proof? How do you claim the culprit killed George Anaki and the rest in that closed room? How did they lock it? That's exactly right. Nazi's room was exactly the same, just like usual. The door and windows were locked from the inside. There were no frauds or tricks, no means of secret passages nor places in which to hide. Nazi's own key was in George's pocket, and the inside of the room was sealed off. Only the 5 master keys were left, and Rosa was holding all of them. And let me say this, the parlor is the same. The key to the parlor itself is sealed away in the servant room, so locking without a master key is impossible. The definition of a closed room remains the same as always. I'm not adding this to the red truth thing, because it's going to take me like 2 minutes to type this. And who cares? Well, I'll start doing that properly in episode 3, I think. I had the idea too late to 2. She's basically putting Rosa in quotes to kind of like taunt the Battler in the story right now, I think. To make this Battler feel like... to make Meta Battler feel like his island Battler is being a dumbass. I don't think it means anything in particular. Where is it? Jeez, hold on. Did I split all this up or something? No, that's Battler's theory. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let's go back and see that. That's weird. Huh, it's missing. No, all this here is like the stuff before they switched over to meta mode. Yeah, it's just missing. Weird. Huh. Must be some word quirk. I bet I can't see it. No, I can stay here in English. That's weird, just not in Japanese. It must be some quirk with like how it adds stuff to the log. Or if it doesn't add it correctly. Might be a bug. Shut up. Shut up too. You're the one who should shut up. How do you claim the letter was placed here by anyone other than you? Unless you can prove such a thing happened, you're a wolf. If we can suspect me, then we can suspect you too. So try showing me some proof yourself. And anyway, weren't you the first person to enter this room and start checking the windows, Aunt Rosa? Then you guessed that I'd go back to where I'd been sitting and secretly put the letter there. It's possible for us to suspect that this is a trap of yours, right? Why would I use a trap like that? If I was a wolf, I'd shoot you with this gun without question. That proves nothing. Maybe you chose the roundabout way of setting a clever trap because you couldn't commit murder in front of Maria. All the master keys are in your hands. So what happened, both here and in the last room, was all you're doing, right? If you think you can talk your way out of this, then let's hear your excuses. That's right, you've been suspicious from the start, Aunt Rosa. Why is it that even though 6 adults in the family conference were killed, you were the only exception? Why were you the only one not in that chapel? There could only be one reason. You would have invited Dad and the rest there and killed them. Come on, guys, chill. Damn it, damn it, damn it. That explains everything, doesn't it? Don't fuck with me, don't fuck with me. Stop saying things that don't make sense. I love the breakdowns in this game. Ooh, stop it. You mustn't fight. Mama 2, Battler 2, stop it, stop it. It's no one's fault. It's not Battler's or Mama's fault. The witch did all of this. It was done with magic. It's no one's fault. Ooh. Maria thrust herself in between Aunt Rosa and me as the blood started rising to our heads. I was taken aback by Maria's crying voice and returned to my senses. I'd acted shamefully just now. My eyes filled with tears. I mean, he was acting in self-defense, really, as far as all that yelling. Over here. No, you're not coming on my lap right now. Come on. No. I don't want to lap these. Maybe later. That's right. It's all the witch's fault, isn't it? All this about keys and tricks and alibis, all of it. All of it was stupid. Even though it's the work of the witch, we weren't able to trust each other as humans. Right, Aunt Rosa? From the beginning, there wasn't a human culprit. It was all the work of the witch. So there's no way you're the culprit. There's no way Maria, Genji-san, or I am either. Why has it come to this? Why am I screaming at Aunt Rosa, who I loved? Why am I having this fight with a kind aunt I love so much? Why? Why does everyone have to suspect each other? I'm not gonna suspect my aunt. I'm not gonna suspect anyone. It's all the work of the witch. It's all the work of Beatrice. It's all crime that Beatrice committed with magic. Oh, Beatrice, please show yourself here and confess to us that you did everything. I'm sorry already. I'm sorry we've been suspecting each other like this. We can add him to the list of people who have yelled for Beatrice to show. So forgive us, release us. Release us from this hell of suspecting each other until we see each other die. Give me my kind relatives and cousins back. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it all. You definitely exist, it's your victory. Show yourself. Oh, Beatrice, Beatrice! He might actually almost have the record now, competing with Kinzo, though. You are stubborn, cat. Stop it. Am I still alive? Apparently, some time ago, Kinzo had fallen into a doze. He searched for spectacles and looked at the clock. It was 10 p.m. That person's ceremony. Let's see, how far has it progressed? He must have come quite far by this time. Kinzo lifted his heavy body from the chair and approached the portrait of the witch that he gazed at every day. Beatrice, very soon, I will have a chance to be reunited with your smile. Care not if I die. If I can just see your smile one more time, I will not regret this life. So, for heaven's sake, let me meet with you one more time. Then let me swear my love to you. Let me apologize for my crimes. Whoa. But I won't let you escape. You are mine. From your hair to your toenails, to the dirt under your toenails. You are mine. Every fragment of your flesh is mine. Even the broth of your corpse is mine. I won't let you escape. This time you won't slip from my hands. I'll make you mine for all eternity. I will never let you escape a second time. I will never let you escape a second time. Whoa. Kinzo howled in rage, then suddenly fell to his knees as he shook and scraped at the wall. In an instant, he'd started sobbing. That's wrong. I didn't want to say something like this. Beatrice. Please, let me see you one more time. Even if you only let me apologize. Beatrice. Your beloved, yearned for. I was mistaken. If you would just smile, I wouldn't need anything else. I made a mistake. I made a mistake back then, but it's something that cannot be taken back. In atonement, I offer all that remains of my life. In order to apologize to you, in order to atone for my crimes, I offered everything. Please, even if it must happen as I die, at least let me apologize just once. Beatrice. The voice acting I can only do when my throat is clogged. As Kinzo shook and cried. And as Hawkeye sipped his coffee, a butterfly appeared out of nowhere behind his small back. Small back. He's a pretty big man, isn't he? Like a flake of gold leaf and softly descended. You fool, Kinzo. Did you think any woman out there would fall for a man's tears? Well, even if it wouldn't make a human woman fall for you, it might do the trick for a woman who is not human. Kinzo, do you remember that game of chess you played with me, which is still ongoing? Kinzo, as though he'd suddenly remembered something, approached the chess set. It was as it had been during the game he'd played with Nanjo until yesterday. After knocking all the pieces off the chessboard, he began to line them up again one by one. It was a setup for an ongoing game. That's right, like this. I advanced my queen. That was quite a spectacular move. Perhaps it was a little too intense for you. I worried whether you'd abandon your piece or not. Worried for so long. Kinzo waited with the opposite seat empty. Surely, very soon, his opponent would appear there, and he would be able to restart this game again. You fool, Kinzo. You want to apologize? You want to see my face again? You want to make my smile an eternal thing? Why can't you say a much, much simpler word? Even though that is the sole element of this world. At that time, Kinzo muttered. Was it a prayer? An entreaty? It was probably best to just call it muttering. I love you, Beatrice. They were pure words, like something an innocent child would say, without any evil intent. You really are a fool, Kinzo. If you ever have the chance to do your life over again, know that those words will never cause a woman to fall for you. Wow. That's right, not unless a miracle happens. That's what makes this. At that moment, Kinzo definitely heard a small knock. One with a tempo that differed from those of the servants. She's essentially saying, in red, you will be forever alone. Who is it? The woman beyond the door didn't answer. I'm asking who you are. Will you not answer? The woman beyond the door didn't answer. Could it be? Whoa, could it be? Beatrice? Beatrice. Beatrice. The woman beyond the door answered. On the night twilight, the witch shall revive, and then she'll be left alive. But she started quoting it. Very cool. $11:30. The first episode ended at midnight, for whatever reason. So will we see the second episode in at the same time, I wonder? I guess we'll see. Bowers' figure was in the dining hall. He didn't feel like going back to the guest house in the middle of all this rain, and wandered half-heartedly around the mansion in search for any place where he could sit before setting up camp at the dining hall. He didn't even lock the door. He thought the shapeless murderer, or maybe the Golden Witch, might come to kill him now that he was isolated, but he no longer had any desire to resist. He didn't even feel like using a locked door to hold off the culprit. He wanted that person to come at him openly from the front. If it was the killer, he wanted to ask them about some of those wonderful closed room tricks as a parting gift. If it was the witch, he hoped she'd at least take his life with some spectacular magic. However, ironically, neither of those two came to meet him. Fowler opened the liquor cabinet on his own and enjoyed the liquor to his heart's content. No longer was there anyone to scold him for drinking alcohol. Yeah, he's underage. He boldly rested his legs on the extravagant tablecloth and savored the high-quality liquor, which probably had a mind-boggling price, drinking it down straight from the bottle. Only your grandfather knew. Then, someone knocked. Fowler realized that someone had finally come to greet him. Hey, it's not locked. Whoever you are, please come in. And go ahead and introduce yourself. If you're human, please give me your name. If you're Beatrice, please tell me your bust size. I may not look it, but I'm well known as a breast sommelier, you see. It is Genji, Fowler-sama. Awkward. Genji-sana. Sorry, but I've got no interest in your bust size. Please come in. It's unlocked. Excuse me. Genji-san opened the door and bowed. So is Genji-san the criminal after all? Or maybe an accomplice? That theory would probably explain most of the tricks. Did you come to give me my last rites? Nothing of the sort. I apologize if I'm disturbing you. Hey, saying I'm sorry without even telling me what you want is actually pretty creepy. What do you want? Are you gonna tell me that drinking alcohol is forbidden for minors? I'll just die anyway. Please, let me do what I want, now that it's all about to end. Fowler-sama, you love alcohol so much that you would spend the little time you'll have left drinking. Those words pierced me. That wasn't true. I just can't cope if I don't drink. I can't even taste the alcohol at all. You were just like the master. Indeed, you inherited the master's blood strongly. You mean grandfather, the heavy drinker, was drinking to drown his sorrows the whole time? First I've heard of it. After several sad incidents, the master's life was reduced to one of atonement alone. What is it you know? Beatrice, the ceremony was completed when the 8th twilight ended. I believe I can tell you everything now. But what did you say? My drunkenness was completely blown away. I lowered my feet from the table and listened carefully to hear what Genji would say next. Naoe-sama, I shall guide you to the master's study. It would probably be best to hear it directly from both the master and... both grandfather and... Hey, what in the world do you mean by that? Come, this way. I shall guide you, Valor-sama. After Genji-san told me to follow him, he started to walk down the corridor. I threw my drunkenness off completely and went after him. We climbed a big staircase towards the 3rd floor. Genji-san stopped walking halfway. He then turned back and spoke. Valor-sama, from here on, you will probably see things you will not be able to understand. Don't think that'll scare me. I've already seen enough incomprehensible things today to make me sick. Please, accept what you see as you see it. Accept what you hear as you hear it. Why? What? There's no need for questions like that. I would still get you talking. You will learn the truth, and that is all. I will leave it completely up to you, Valor-sama, whether to accept it, believe it, or deny it. What will he do? Genji-san checked one last time to see whether I was prepared to know the truth. The 8th twilight had already ended, and at the 9th twilight, the witch would revive, and nobody would be left alive. It meant that Beatrice had already revived, and it probably also meant that none of us would be allowed to return alive. If I was going to lose my life anyway, I wanted to know the truth in the end. It didn't matter how hard it might be to accept. Yeah. Even if a demon or a witch shows up, I'm prepared. Indeed, you are just like the master in his youth. Valor-sama, please be diligent in your studies. In the future, you will surely have great aspirations. And when that time comes, see to it that you are never forced to regret a lack of study and training. I'd be happy to, assuming I ever get a chance to work hard on my studies. Genji-san's silence felt like it was further confirming a certain, resigned feeling I had. Can you hear it purring from here? Well, dummy. And then, the door to grandfather's study, surrounded by a sweet smell, came into sight. Genji-san took a gold key with an elegant design out from his pocket. The master keys had been confiscated by Rosa, but he'd kept the key to the study alone on his person. He put it in the keyhole, and it made a heavy clunking sound. Master, it is I, Genji. I have brought Valor-sama with me. There was no reply, but it seemed that permission to go inside had been given. Really trying to clear my throat. Hold on. Ugh. Hold on. Now it's worse. One sec. Hey, real. Alright. Maybe that's a bit better. Come, Valor-sama. Please go in. Okay, I'll go in. I've readied myself and threw the door open. At that moment, I got slightly disoriented by the dazzling golden glow. It was, unbelievably, a swarm of butterflies that shone gold. The gold butterflies that completely filled the inside of the study poured out all at once. But what is this? It was almost like golden leaf confetti. The interior of grandfather's study was filled with a golden glow. And, on a sofa like a reception chair in front of the study desk, I could see grandfather's back. There was someone on the side opposite from grandfather. It was a shadow, so I couldn't see it well. Master, I brought Valor-sama. Battler, is it? I'm busy thinking now. Be silent for a while. Kinzo declared that unhappily, his back still turned. It seemed he was enjoying a chess game with a visitor. Apparently, the opponent counterattacked with a superb move. Kinzo seemed to be enjoying himself as he thought deeply, while occasionally laughing and groaning. I have thought for 30 years. I have thought for 30 years about how to counter this move. Have fun. Have fun with the move I fermented for 30 years. Indeed, this is a deeply matured move. What fun, what fun. Haha. I see I'm no match for you. Chess enthusiast. What is this? So you came, Battler. I've been waiting for a while. Be silent for Kinzo's sake. Isn't it too early to resign, Kinzo? I could have countered that move in several ways already. Oh, it's her. It should have been my first meeting with that witch. However, I knew this witch. Even though it was our first meeting, I knew her from the portrait. Genji, serve some alcohol for Battler. What would be an appropriate liquor for this man? That which the master has loved since the days of his youth. Good, good, serve it. You did well coming here, wishing to meet a Battler. First, sit down. You called my name many times, did you not? In deference to that, I allowed you to meet me. So what will you ask me? What will you inquire? The door of the Golden Land will soon be opened. Soon, we will have a banquet to celebrate my revival, at which I will be welcoming in the witches. In the meantime, I'll answer your questions, as many as you like. I've got a bunch of things I want to ask. What happened on this island? Why did incidents like these occur? I want to ask about the closed rooms, too. What about the chapel? What about Jessica's room? The servant room? Nanati's room? The parlor? There's so much more I want to ask. About the witch's true nature. Is Beatrice really a witch? What's your goal? What do you want to make us do, and why did you call me here? Answer me, about everything. Ah, be quiet. You think you'll get answers if you ask? Don't say that, Kinzo. A fragile and fleeting spiderweb did offer protection from King Hirod once. Just like there are no useless things in this world, there are also no useless questions. Very well, I'll answer all your questions. But only on one condition. What is it? If you hear everything and are able to accept my existence, then you will kneel and kiss my shoes. I called you here because I wanted to make you surrender to me. Kinzo and I made a bet. We bet on which would come first. Kinzo thinking of a new move, or me making you surrender. I don't think I'll lose. Damn you, talking so tough. Yeah, alright. Try and convince me. Try and convince me that you're a witch who can use weird, awesome, powerful magic. If I surrender, I'll kiss you or do anything else. The witch cackled gloatingly. Then she glared at him unpleasantly with eyes that said a man can't go back on his word. Well said. So from what question shall I begin? I'll answer everything. Come, what will the first one be? And we don't get to see the answers. Damn. Wouldn't that have helped us out? Then the witch started to tell everything. She began answering all Battler's questions. Everything made sense. He was convinced by all of it. And then Battler had no choice but to admit it. The witch certainly did exist. But fall is a story that needs no retelling. When the king falls and you're defeated, it's time to start reflecting on your finished game. And then all you can do is set up the pieces one more time. Okay. The results. I thought there was one more scene in the main part of the novel, but maybe I'm thinking of episode 3 or 4. Not sure. House, dead. Natsuhi, dead. Eva, dead. Hideyoshi, dead. Rudolph, dead. Hirie, dead. Jessica, dead. Kennen, dead. 6 get killed normally, then 7 get staked. Shannon, dead. Yoda, dead. George, dead. Dr. Nanjo, dead. Musawa, dead. That should be all 13 of the regular victims. Beatrice, revived. Good on her. Kinzo, missing. Rosa, missing. Maria, missing. Genji, missing. But what about Battler? Battler. Who knows? The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures in the Golden Land. There they chose to revive the dead souls and the love that was lost. After all, if the desire had been a mountain of gold of any size, they wouldn't have been able to receive it. Kinzo chose the person he'd loved and lost. Maria chose the lost love of her mother. Genji chose a peaceful sleep. Sleep peacefully, Beatrice. Let nothing disturb your slumber ever again. The winner is the Golden Witch Beatrice, because time ran out before any of the 18 could solve the riddle of the gold. All 18 died. When the seagulls cried, none were left alive. Wow, it says it right there. Umineko no Naku Koro. No. No. You are stubborn. Stop it. No. No. I know there is still more, though. We still have the tea parties. But it looks like midnight has come. Or apparently we're still 1 minute before. Never mind, it's not midnight yet. Tease. Okay, maybe the scene I'm thinking of is here. Where are you, Beatrice? Show yourself. Beatrice! Rosa finally arrived at the chapel. She pointed her gun around her, screaming the witch's name, but there was no way she would receive an answer. After grimacing slightly, she noisily approached the table where her sibling's corpses still lay exposed, and stretched out her arm towards a gold ingot. It was very heavy, but Rosa didn't mind. She wrapped that one up in a blanket and threw it over her shoulder. At least, just this one. This alone should be worth over 10 million. Without letting go of her gun, Rosa picked up the gold as well. Her shoulders were screaming, but Rosa didn't mind. Hee hee hee. It will happen very soon. Very soon, the door to the Golden Land will open. Rosa, careful, your torso is encumbered. Your gun aim is going to be bad now. Stop laughing with that creepy voice. Where's Beatrice? Yeah, I know, she's around here somewhere, right? You know where, right? Where is she? Hee. I don't know. Even if you don't search for her, you'll be able to see her in the Golden Land. Hee. Ouch. Stop laughing like that. It almost makes me want to laugh. That's right, that was definitely a witch. Definitely a witch. I didn't understand. I thought she was a human calling herself a witch, but I was wrong. That really was a witch. I won't be fooled by something like that. You're there, right? Come out, show yourself. Beatrice. Another one on the list. I told you she'll appear very soon. The door to the Golden Land will be opened. Hee. Good scene coming up. Not yet, I guess. That's right. Isn't that splendid? I care not. I abandon that rook. You, woman, are a king that cannot be reached without resolve to lose everything one has. I'll call you Beatrice. Yeah. At least call me a queen. Oh, what a brilliant move. So your blood, no, the Ushimura blood, is bad at giving up. How pleasant. What and truly elegant night. Master, Beatrice-sama, it will soon be time for the banquet. Already? That was fast. Every night I pass with you goes by swiftly. The moon falls like an apple, and the sun leaps out of the river like a small fish. Boy, he sure has a way with words. It is time, so let us go. Rise, battler. The banquet to celebrate my revival will now begin. I'll introduce you as my new furniture. No, as my toy. To the dignities among witches. Witch was relaxing elegantly, her feet thrown up from the sofa and resting on top of the footrest. However, the footrest wasn't part of the sofa, but a human. A human down on all fours. Beatrice-sama, your silk dress. You are the guest of honor, but I am the host. I will go out first. It would have been nice if Shannon were here to help dress you, but unfortunately, it seems she no longer remains. She's never around when I want to use her. Entirely useless person. However, you did well to remain here. I'm happy, my friend. I'm grateful for your words. Good. Wait downstairs, you two. Genji, good work. Set the dress down over there. Certainly. Well then, master. We will go first. Beatrice, I will see you later. Indeed. Kenzo and Genji left the study. After that, the witch in the dress and the furniture remained. Do you know why I'm not embarrassed to show myself to you naked? It's because you're furniture. Furniture. Understand? Furniture. Just furniture. Who would feel shamed exposing their body to furniture? So there's no reason for me to feel shame in front of you. The witch rose and her jacket slipped off, just from her shoulders. After that, the jacket fell to the ground with a thump. When the furniture respectfully approached to pick up those clothes, the witch gave it a small kick and it fell over. The furniture was afraid of what misconduct it might have shown. Do you, as furniture, plan to force me to unbutton myself? Stand, and undo the buttons, one by one, with care. Quickly, gracefully, with no mistakes. The guests are being kept waiting, so change my clothes quickly. Yes. Undo them with care. Those buttons are each worth more than one of your eyeballs. If you make a mistake and break them, I'll sew your eyeballs in instead. Oh, the sexual tension between these two. The entrance hall was bustling with a crowd of shadowy people, and it sparkled gold with gold butterflies flying about. The gentlemen in suits and tuxedos and the ladies in dresses looked like they were having a great number of friendly chats. At a glance, it might have looked like a fabulous medieval ball, but they all had one thing in common, and that thing was exceedingly bizarre, because all of them had goat heads. Was it a goat mask masquerade, or did they really have goat heads? It probably couldn't be the latter, but in this bizarre world, I really didn't know which was true. Kinzo was amongst those goat nobles, greeting them. Kinzo's greetings were more respectful than would have been expected, as though these were all honored guests. At that time, Genji's voice rang out through the hall. It was a voice calling for silence. That voice stopped the idle chatter, and everyone turned to face Genji. Tonight, we celebrate the appearance of our golden witch, who has achieved her revival, the Lady Beatrice. Everyone, please welcome her with your applause. When Genji began to applaud, it quickly spread through the guests and became a roaring ovation. Then, the golden witch appeared from the top of the large staircase. As she gracefully waved her hand, followed by the piece of furniture she was fond of, she slowly descended the staircase. The goat nobles offered unanimous words of celebration in some long-forgotten language, and those who were deeply intimate embraced, filled with joy at their reunion. As the witch offered greetings of reunion, the witch's furniture followed behind her the whole time. There was a chain around its neck. The other end was gripped in the witch's hand like it was a trained dog. It wasn't there to restrain him. Those chains were a restraining device whose only purpose was to wound the furniture's dignity. He wasn't permitted to wear anything else on his body. One of the young woman goats, mixed in with the goat nobles, quietly removed her goat mask as the furniture passed in front of her, and she spoke with eyes that had no light in them. That face seemed to belong to a long-haired young girl. How pitiful. Oh, Lady Brinkestelle, welcome. Do you like my furniture? That's a nice hobby. Is that Rika from Higurashi? Kinda, yeah. Details, go watch Higurashi. After saying only that, the witch called Brinkestelle once again put on her goat mask, and was swallowed up by the shadows of the other tall goats. Ah, sore loser. She's ticked off, isn't she? You're not wrong. The young woman goats giggled, and the witch once let out again a high-pitched laugh. Thank you for gathering here for my sake. Why don't we enjoy to the fullest this banquet of the witch, where old friends have gathered from past and present, east and west. We will eat all night, drink all night, slurp all night, and shoot a bits all night as we enjoy ourselves. Look at the clock as it marks when the ending hour and the beginning hour melt together. Come, let us begin the banquet of the witch. When the witch announced the beginning of the banquet, the large clock pointed to 24 midnight, and the sound of a bell began to ring out. Come, now is the time. Open the golden door. I guess it's still a bit before we see the other witches. And the Delta specifically. I know there's some characters who are going to show up in episode 3 though. All at once, the butterflies leafed in gold flew all around the inside of the room. Amidst the golden storm and the brilliant gold-colored light, the barrier between this world and another was cut open. Surrounded by the goats' delighted voices, the mansion of the human world and the mansion of those not human overlapped. Members of the household who praised the resurrection of the Golden Witch scattered into gold butterflies, and poured out of the depths of hell. It was a golden tornado, a rondo of golden demons. Come, tonight we will put aside rank. Throw open the wine cellar, drop the snake's head into the liquor pot, throw cows and chickens into the furnace alive, drink and eat and sing and dance, sneer and kill and desecrate and degrade. Ah, Beatrice, take me to the Golden Land now. To the Golden Land. Whoa, ah. The goat nobles were suddenly crushing it around Kinzo, almost like they were kids demanding the signature of some famous movie star. There were only two differences. First, these were witches, not kids. And second, what these witches demanded was not a signature. The sea of goat nobles began to drown Kinzo. Only Kinzo's laughing voice echoed throughout the area. There was a grand mixture of laughter in his death throes. And Kinza became wine and meat and bread. An aroma of slurped, a rich taste of gnawed, and pleasant to tear to bits. The sound of his death throes lingered on sweetly, and if adorned with melted chocolate and golden argent, it would make a wonderful dessert. If you took the bones home, you could also use them in a soup, and the remains could even become toys for the children to play with. And they could also become splendid tools for fortune telling that always brought misfortune. That entire scene was watched by the furniture. It was all fantastical. It was all demonic. Was the quaking of its supposedly paralyzed heart proof that it could still feel fear? At that time, its knees buckled, and the furniture's body fell down in the middle of the carpet. After all, the witch had kicked those knees from behind. Kneel and show your respect. Rub your forehead against the carpet and show how vulgar you are. Put your hands behind your back and swear that you will offer all your flesh and blood to me. The furniture let out a painful voice. Fear is the most basic emotion humans have. Was that emotion reviving a sense of self, which should have already been slain? So, you are still far from suitable for my furniture. Very well. I will carefully finish you, making you into the kind of furniture I like. The kind fitting only for me. As you are now, I doubt you can offer more than entertainment for our guests. The goat nobles were surrounding the crouching furniture. It seemed their blazing, blood-red eyes couldn't hide their ecstasy at this new, young food they'd been given. And from the ugly teeth that stuck out of countless mouths, saliva, or maybe the traces of meat and wine they'd just eaten, dribbled down. Eek! As the furniture let out a wild scream, it retreated, still sitting on its backside. But the circle of goat nobles was closing in. Then the furniture looked at the witch's face. It surrendered to the witch, so, believing that the witch would show some compassion, it stared at her face in the end. But there was nothing but scorn on the witch's face, and she wasn't even facing the furniture anymore. The witch went off to greet an honored guest with whom she had crossed gazes. The goat nobles looked down upon the furniture. Actually, they'd been waiting, just like how one must remove the cork in order to drink champagne. They had to wait for one thing before partaking of the offering served at this banquet. Of course, the furniture didn't know about this thing, but it came out of his mouth all by itself. Just like the unavoidable pop of a cork, it inevitably came out of his mouth. It was a scream. It was a sign that marked the beginning of the modest banquet at which he was to be served. Welcome back again, cat. I'm not trying to pronounce that. Gabu boga guki guki boryu. Thanks, Umineko. I can really do English tongue twisters. Okay, this is what I was waiting for. By now, the garden was one of both roses and gold. The gold-colored garden were gold butterflies, gold fairies, and gold lizards rampaged and flew about wildly. Arya, quickly! Run! Quickly, 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 quickly! Rosa grasped a gun and the blanket wrapped around the ingot, and ran at a speed Maria couldn't match, sometimes pausing to call out at Maria to run faster. You could be carrying your daughter, instead of the gold. So she saw it every time. She saw the golden pursuers chasing them from the mansion. The massive gold butterflies was chasing after them like a massive crawling hand. And the strange-looking shadows with goat heads were chasing after them. There was no need for her to strain her eyes, because those blazing pupils told her what would happen if she was captured. I need to breathe. Oh, Mama, wait. Oh, wait. Ooh, ow. Arya fell down. For just an instant, Rosa was shamed by thoughts of abandoning her daughter and running away, and at the instant her feet touched ground, she ran back. The goat head that had sprinted over to get the first bite grabbed hold of the back of Rosa's own child's hair and pulled. Mama, no. Rosa rammed into the goat head with her shoulder, spun, bashed the back of her elbow into the goat's jaw, and buried her knee into its protruding chest. And she thrust the barrel of the gun inside the goat head's mouth as it doubled over from the pain in its gut. Just try laying one finger on Maria in front of me. I'll show you just how lukewarm the hell you came from is. See? That's why she's in the fighting game. The blast from the Winchester's 45 caliber long Colt bullet exploded inside the goat's head throat, and its medulla oblongata was instantly pulverized. The goat head hadn't understood. It thought women were like pre-opened wine bottles. It thought that turning them upside down would immediately make their deep red contents come out. Mama, Mama. Maria, who'd been released, hugged Rosa. But the pursuers were still coming. They could see the giant goat heads, who had given up pretending to be human, running towards them from across the rose bushes. Rosa spilled several extra bullets, which had been in the pocket of her coat, all over the place, and told Maria to pick them up. Yes, pick up. Maria, if Mama falls down, run. Go to the shore. And swim, swim, swim. There's nowhere for us to survive on this island. No, I'll stay with Mama. Ooh. Rosa's gun rode 4 times, but even though 4 shots really did hit the massive approaching goats in the chest, they didn't even flinch. The goats ran with a violent vigor, as though they planned to crush Rosa and Mario with those massive bodies. Put the bullet in, quickly! Ooh! Rosa grasped the blanket with the ingot in both hands, and she herself sprinted, pulling it along, without even an ounce of fear in those strange-looking giants. If it's to protect my daughter, I'll overcome even hell. I'll show you. This golden dream. Rosa roared. The goat heads roared. That terribly heavy ingot, after picking up a fearsome centrifugal force and speed, slammed into the head of the goat head. Rosa pulled a fountain pen from her pocket, but she held it crooked. She placed it in her palm, in the gap between her middle finger and her ring finger, so that it stuck out when she made a fist, almost like a stinger was growing out of it. That stinger sliced into the left eye of the goat head as it fell over. As the goat head's roar screamed. But Rosa's roar was different. She pulled back her fist and slammed it into the fountain pen that was still sticking to the goat head's eye. The pointed tip was gouged into the depths of its head. Jeez. Mama, the bullet went in. Good job. When Rosa grabbed the gun Mario had thrown, see? Mario had the gun for a moment there. It's the scene. I don't think that's right, though. You have to watch the anime if you want to see her holding the gun. The giant finally tumbled on the ground with a thunderous crash. However, at the same time, I saw the goat-head pursuers at the other side of the rose bushes increase in number. I've gained enough distance for now. I held onto the blanket wrapped around the ingot and the gun, and once again ran with Mario. Why am I running with a gun in my right hand and the gold in my left? Why don't I let go with one hand and grasp Mario's hand? I can't let go with the gun that protects my body. I can't let go with the gold that protects my future. But even so, I've let go of the hand of my daughter, the one who is my future. Run, run, run. She got out of the rose garden and began to run down a staircase through a grove of trees. Rosa knew. This path through the grove turned and twisted many times and only seemed to be long. She tore straight through it. She had played here often since her childhood years, so she knew. To the beach, to the beach, to the sea, to the sea, to the sea. And after reaching the sea, nothing to do but swim, 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 and if Mario can't swim, I'll carry her as a swim. You are not carrying that gold through the sea. That is not happening. There's nothing but death on this island. Yeah. Mama? As she raced down the stairs, she took a bad step. A violent pain ran up her left ankle, and her mind went completely blank. Rosa fell down several stairs, shocked by her ankle, which was bent at an odd angle. See? I predicted the word angle. And the blanket with the ingot wasn't there. She let go of it the instant she fell, and it disappeared somewhere into the darkness. Only the gun was left. Tremors in the earth were getting closer. It was only a matter of time before the goat had split it in. She didn't want to imagine how many there would be, or how strange they would look. The lightly dancing gold pursuers arrived. The gold butterflies surrounded Rosa and Mario, waving and clamoring as though saying, "The prize is here! The prize is here!" Rosa couldn't even try to get up. The violent pain from her broken ankle was so great that she couldn't ignore it, even in her last moments. What am I doing? I had the gold, which would have been worth several million yen. I'd better be able to start over with that. And yet I fell, lost it, and now my own life is in danger, and Mario's too. How has my life been? I was born into an incomprehensible family, with irritating older siblings since the day I was born. What did I do? No matter what I did or didn't do, I was always in trouble and bullied and made fun of. How's my life been? Mama, mama, mama. The roar inside Rosa's heart shrilled away and disappeared. It disappeared when she heard Maria's crying voice, as she sobbed and clung to Rosa. Maria, Mama remembered something she's got to do. Please go on ahead. No, 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 no. I want to stay with Mama. I don't want Mama to die. Maria, even though I'm such a bad Mama, you still say you want to stay with me? Yeah, I want to stay with you. I want to stay with Mama. I made it look like I was putting you first, but I was always putting you off. I went to your athletic meet, I went to Parents' Day, but I was always thinking about how we appeared to the world, and you were never in my eyes. Are you saying that you want to stay with that kind of mother, even though I've been such a bad mother? Hey, Mama, did you know? You're my only Mama in this world. There's no good Mama or bad Mama. There's just one Mama. So I didn't need any other Mama in this world. And I want to be your one and only Mario. The Mario you want to spoil when you're in a good mood, and the Mario who's a nuisance and you don't want to be around, aren't different people. There's only one Mario. So the scary Mama and the nice Mama are the same. To me, they're my one and only Mama. I was such an idiot. I didn't need gold. If only I just pulled you by the hand. I was such a stupid Mama. The shadows of the goats covered the sky even more thoroughly than the trees of the forest. Their roars watered the world with fear. Rosa, still hugging Maria, readied her gun with one hand. Alright, let's go together. I'll never leave you. Let's always stay together so that Mama never gets lost again. Yeah. We'll be able to see each other soon. We'll be together forever. We'll be able to see each other in the Golden Land. And then we'll play together. Play with the wolves and sheep puzzle. Mom hasn't solved more than one of the puzzles, but I've solved them all. So I'll be the riddle giver. She had bought it as a birthday present, and then hadn't played it with Mario after that first night. Yes, we'll play together. I promise. Mama. Those eyes, sparkling like red-hot lava, looked just like a group of fireflies. They danced, closed in, and attacked. Ah, come on. Let whoever wants to eat the bullet Mario chambered for me step forward. Ah! Everyone dead. But at least she went out like kind of a badass, honestly. Kinda redeemed herself a little bit. But Rosa's a weird character. Sometimes she comes off as really likable, but other times she's like the worst character there is. There she is. Alright, next up is the tea party. We're almost there. Purgatorio. The epilogue. Rosa awoke from her doze. It must have been a very deep sleep. Her mind was hazy, and she wasn't thinking clearly. Where is this? It felt like some mansion, but it didn't seem to be the Yoshimita mansion. She could see a room that looked like a parlor, and there was some tea that had been prepared. It had probably been made for her. Around the room, some glitter that looked like gold leaf drifted about, making the scene look quite fantastical. When she eventually realized that they were gold butterflies, it further strengthened that impression. There was someone across from her. A woman. A lady. It was the portrait's witch. She seemed to be having a one-sided conversation. She was probably talking to Rosa, but Rosa, whose mind was clouded up by a deep fog, didn't have a clue what was being said. Choose whatever you please. If there's anything you want, I'll give it all to you. You can think of it as a reward for your good luck, or else as proper compensation for how you answered to my demands. It may have been a truly trivial matter from your perspective. However, the deal was important enough to me to be deserving of this reward. What is she talking about? I don't know. It's just that I am very much a witch. Perhaps you'd best ask for something only a witch can give you. What a rare chance this is, to actually receive the favor of Beatrice the Golden. Me. Finally, Rosa started to feel the blood flowing through her body. Her movements were still sluggish, and she couldn't even voice the words she was thinking. I'm commonly called the Golden Witch. Bestowing a mountain of gold, like the one I gave Kinzo, is trivial to me. After all, you can measure all the pleasures of the human world with money. Therefore, gold is no more or less than the manifestation of the human world's pleasures. Can you imagine it? A mountain of gold that you couldn't use up as long as you lived? As the witch blew in her pipe, multicolored smoke enshrouded their surroundings. As she did this, the inside of the parlor was suddenly filled with stacks of gold ingots. It looked like a shining gold-colored wall. If each ingot was worth several 10 million yen, how much would all this be worth? It seems sinful to even think of such a number. However, the human world is difficult. I know there are some things that cannot be settled, no matter how high into the sky you'll pile up gold. I know there are cracks that cannot be filled. I won't make light of that, which is why this is a gift that only a witch such as I can give. Why don't I fill those cracks in for you? Yes, how about this? It's something only I can give. You should be very happy. No need to thank me out loud. I can tell right away. It's written in your face and in the corners of your heart. Rosa felt a touch of discomfort at this witch, who kept on talking even though Rosa hadn't uttered a single word. But since she still couldn't manage to speak, and was so helpless that it was difficult to even move a finger, she couldn't do anything but listen. How far must the deep wounds in your heart recede before they can be healed? This is deep. Quite deep indeed. Sometimes wounds close up while a fragment of foreign matter remains inside. Even once such wounds appear to have healed, they continue to throb for all eternity. Sometimes you have to open the wound once more in order to heal it completely. As the witch spoke, she stared deep into Rosa's eyes. What in the world was she peering at? Rosa felt uncomfortable, but she couldn't look away. So, your pain was already faded by the time of your birth. How heartbreaking. You don't have to say it. I understand. I understand. Rosa was gradually being sucked into the witch's eyes. Then, the world grew dark, spinning round and around as she was sucked in. Rosa, Rosa, why are you such an idiot? Oh, that's Chris Nissan's voice. Chris Nissan is a real adult, so he's very smart. So he hated the stupid kid, Rosa. He was a very scary person. I was often hit, and my toys were taken from me and broken. I was apparently being punished for something bad I'd done, but I never really understood what it was or why I was being punished. I was always punished suddenly, and then later told what the punishment was for in a forced manner. But it was always something I didn't remember doing. So I really hated Kraus Nissan. Next. Rosa, Rosa, why are you such an idiot? Oh, that's Evanescen's voice. Evanescen is a real adult, so she's very smart. So she hated the stupid kid, Rosa. She was always a very sly person, and she often lied to me, tricked me, bullied me all the time. Apparently I was stupid, and she said it was only natural for stupid people to be swindled by those smarter than them. So I wanted to become a wise person like Evanescen, and listen to what she said. But when I obeyed her, for some reason, sometimes she got really mad at me. Oh no, someone always got really mad at me. So I really hated Evanescen. I'll go get some water real quick. One sec. Okay. Should last me until the end of episode 2. Rosa, Rosa, why are you such an idiot? Oh, that's Rudolph Nissan's voice. Rudolph Nissan really knows how to get things done. So he hated the stupid kid, Rosa. When Kraus Nissan was around, he would be friendly with Kraus Nissan. When Evanescen was around, he would be friendly with Evanescen. When Kraus Nissan wasn't around, he would be violent like Kraus Nissan. And when Evanescen wasn't around, he would play dirty like Evanescen. And even though he was bullied most of the time, when Kraus Nissan and Evanescen weren't around, he gave me 2 people's worth of bullying. Come on, you. Oh. Go on. Up, up, up. So I really hated Rudolph Nissan. But these were my memories from when I was a kid. It's common for unfair things to happen between kids, and you mustn't hold on to grudges for such things forever. With time, those memories get buried away, and forgetting about them bit by bit is supposed to be part of growing up and becoming an adult. So becoming an adult is the same as separating yourself from all those memories, and because of that, no matter how much time passed, Rosa couldn't become an adult. Even though she'd been blessed with a daughter called Maria and was called Mother, she didn't at all feel like she'd become an adult. The witch pitied her for that, and she smiled, saying that she could heal all that pain herself. How can I heal you? It's possible, but not easy. I might rewind time and giving you a world where you have no older siblings. But that way, your memories of being hurt by your older siblings wouldn't remain. In that sense, what you might call a gift, you wouldn't be able to accept it. A person is only satisfied when their starvation is healed. But if you make it so they never starved in the first place, none of them will thank you. Just like how there were no young people who give thanks. There are no young people who give thanks for the daily gluttony. Understand? I think she's telling me something really complicated. In short, even if she makes it so never had older siblings, that wouldn't remove my pain. Maybe that's what she's saying. Strictly speaking, that's not quite right. Healing isn't the same thing as removing pain. It's the pleasure we earn as compensation for withstanding pain. Therefore, removing the pain isn't healing. To know the joy of healing, you have to know the pain. Which means you must know joy in order to compensate you for your pain. You should be proud of your past sufferings. After all, they will make it possible for you to know pleasure that those without pain will never experience. Those who experience this pleasure cannot help but pass on the same joy to others. A vicious cycle. When the witch snapped her fingers, even though the room was still filled with meth and gold and had already lost all semblance of reality, a fabulous tablecloth appeared on the top of the table, and a wonderful meal was laid out, almost as though it was the opening of a banquet in a castle from some fairy tale. For an instant, Rosa truly did feel a pleasurable surprise at how fabulous it was, but at the same time, she felt a bit of anticlimax. After all, she didn't think being bullied by her siblings could be wiped away by just one meal, no matter how delicious. Food is the source of many human pleasures. You simply must eat like a pig as long as you live. If one meal isn't enough, then have as many as you want. Until the pain of your heart is healed, why not continue this gourmet banquet? Begin at furniture. As the witch clapped twice, there were suddenly 2 go-ahead servants there, and they began to prepare the meal. From the beautiful dishes adorning the table, they efficiently took some food and began to pile it up on Rosa's plate. It really did look delicious, but Rosa's body still felt as heavy as lead, and there was no way she'd be able to eat. Maybe they also understood that. The go-ahead servants tied a napkin around Rosa's collar, and gallantly brought a glass of before-dinner alcohol to her mouth, tilting it for her. She remembered an old servant who had once carried rice porridge to her mouth when she was laid up with high fever. She couldn't drink it well, and it dripped down from her mouth, but she felt the fragrant sweetness spread throughout her mouth. It's a sweet aperitif of noble, rot, German-made wine. A wine cocktail of white wine mixed with a crimson golden drop. If I had to give it a name, I'd call it a Bloody Kraus. So it was just a golden drop of your brother's blood that was squeezed out of a compressor. Rosa coughed violently, and the bright red that stained her face made it look as though she'd coughed up blood. You know a lot about black tea, so you should know what it means, right? Golden drop refers to the last drop in a drink. It's called the most precious drop in black tea. So a golden drop of blood is the same. The last and most precious drop of blood squeezed out of a human. We squeeze it using that. As the witch snapped her fingers, a bright red veil that had been set up before something large was removed. The solemn and massive machine there was just like a coffin for a large-sized person, with many bulb-like things stuck to it, and it looked like a sinister torture device. By its unnerving shape, she could tell that with a human strength, it could be used to tighten and compress something. It seemed that there were still some squeezed dregs remaining, because of the bright red remains that stained it. But you can't take more than one golden drop at once. No matter what kind of human you take it from, you can't get more than one drop. But I'm a witch. Reviving a person is easy for me. When the witch snapped her fingers, the human compressor suddenly began to shake. No, she could also hear a groan. It looked almost as though someone sleeping in that man-sized coffin had woken up and was now struggling to get out. But that was wrong. What was inside had definitely been squeezed to dregs. Using her magic, the witch had once again revived the squeezed dregs to how they'd been before they were squeezed. 3 go-ahead servants with muscular physiques approached the compressor and forcefully started tightening the large bulb. As they did, an unearthly moan came from inside the coffin. Rosa thought she knew the owner of that voice. This is one way to get over your trauma, I guess. I think many therapists would recommend you, though. It is fitting for cooking to be done in the kitchen. Enough. Stand back. Yeah? Okay. Do you understand how precious a golden drop is? To have it stained this crimson requires that several dozens people worth be squeezed. The witch definitely said that only one golden drop could be taken from a single human. And yet, she had dozens of people's worth of golden drops from a single human. Only a witch could do this. The golden witch Beatrice could kill a single human endlessly. In other words, before Beatrice, even death did not mean freedom. Do you need me to put it a different way? Have you forgotten the day this man hit you, when you swallowed the blood that ran into your mouth? That's right, remember that taste. Remember the taste of the tears that you spilled until you were dry. I believe this Aperitif will be sufficient to heal that regrettable memory. Once again, the goat-head servants tilted a deep red glass against her mouth. Rosa tried resisting by closing her lips, but the deep red liquid was relentlessly poured into her mouth, which hung open with shock. And the inside of her mouth was filled with a ghastly sweetness. It definitely was a fragrant sweetness, the living blood of her brother, who had given her such hateful thoughts and made her soak her pillows so many times. It had been collected from his death, repeated dozens of times. How could the crimson-stained wine not be sweet? But Rosa tried to spit it out. Because of that, the deep red wine that spilled out of Rosa's mouth looked just like a bloodstain. Now that she knew that this ghastly substance wasn't a simple aperitif, Rosa couldn't help but feel uncomfortable about what would happen if this banquet continued. That is a double-tongued salad made from vegetables in season. On your 9th birthday, you made a wish that you'd someday get to chew this to bits, the salad made from Ava's tongue. When Rosa heard the true nature of the pink-colored meat piled up in the salad, she had a sudden impulse to vomit her guts out. Furthermore, the goat servant stuck a fork in it and carried it to Rosa's mouth. How does your double-tongued sister taste? It must be quite soft and enchanting, right? It probably would be quite sweet, soft and enchanting in her mouth. After all, Ava's lies were always sweet, and young Rosa had always listened to them. And you might say the stimulating pepper seasoning expressed the truth behind those lies well. As the tongue salad that kept being pushed into Rosa's mouth was covered with saliva, she spit it out. But the goat-head servants carefully returned it to the plate and carried it to Rosa's mouth over and over again. It goes without saying, but I made this salad liberally using 5 of Ava's tongues. You can't get more than 1 tongue out of a person, but I can get them over and over. As Rosa's tears dripped down, she resisted frantically. However, the only way she could resist was by refusing to swallow. Even if she didn't swallow it, the taste of the French dressing increasingly permeated Rosa's mouth. Does it not please you? There's lots more. Sea bass pie wrapped in the skin of Rudolph's face. Soup with boiled brains, liver pate, and I look forward to desserts. It's not what your siblings see. I have lavishly assembled all of those whom you have trusted, and yet by whom you have betrayed. Why don't we continue this banquet for all eternity, until your heart is satisfied? For all eternity. You're happy, right? Wish she'd made a Rosa. Don't pretend you hate it. I know that you're actually happy, okay? If you want to laugh, then do so. And if you won't feel better until you've heard a raw performance of your annoying older sibling's screams, I'll let you hear them as much as you like. Fear not, your reluctance doesn't trouble me. That's just your personality, right? On the inside, you're actually so happy that your skin is crawling all over. And yet on the outside, you're merely pretending that all this causes you pain, yes? It's alright. Here, there's no need to worry about honor or your public image or anything. So laugh as much as you want and chew it to bits. Isn't this the best banquet? We should meet a Rosa. Please, stop. Ugh. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to leave dessert as a surprise, but let me reveal it now anyways. Maybe that will be enough incentive for you to eat up the full course. A dessert is that beloved daughter that you had to keep pretending to love. Oven-baked Mario with apples. Doesn't that sound yummy? Once you eat this, you'll be released from everything. Freedom, you see. Freedom! Finally, Rosa will gain freedom as an individual person. Why aren't you happy? You should be happy. Drool is hanging from your mouth. You started looking in a mirror. Yahahaha. It's her. Suddenly, a muscular goat cook was holding Maria under his arm, and Maria gazed at Rosa with a face that was only slightly sad. Mama, was I a burden? You weren't a burden. As Rosa spat out the food that was continually being carried to her mouth, as she was covered with filth and saliva and blood, she resisted filthily and screamed. If you think I'm a burden, I don't mind if you eat me. After all, I'm always doing horrible things to you. Even when you bring a man over, I can't stay quiet. When you spend the night out with a man, I get lonely and unruly and make a mess of my room. When I go to search by myself... Search for what? I get lost, the police pick me up, and you're shamed. When you don't come home for several days, and I cry and have to be consoled by the neighbors, you're shamed. Because I'm like this, I'm a burden to Mama. Sorry for being born. So I'll become delicious oven-baked apples for Mama's sake. Then, maybe Mama will be happy I exist for the first time. Maybe she'll eat me and think I'm delicious. Isn't it delicious? Be choked up with tears of gratitude. Your daughter is saying this much for you, right? Oven-baked apples and your beloved daughter make the best dessert. You've managed to raise such delicious ingredients. Aren't you the best mother? We should meet a Rosa. Mama, thanks for everything. Bye-bye. Wait. Wait, Mario, that's wrong. Stop it already. Stop it already. No. I don't want something like this. Please stop. Please forgive me. No, stop it already. Don't put it in my mouth. Are you even satisfied with my hospitality? Then I'll have you accept it, that I am a witch. Proclaim it. Ushimita Rosa accepts that Beatrice is a witch. Accept it. Ushimita Rosa accepts that Beatrice is a witch. So give Maria back. Release me. I finally made you acknowledge it. That crafty battler has already surrendered, and I made Rosa, the fool who denied me even after being invited to the Golden Land, accept it. Perfect. It's perfect. I've accomplished my perfect victory. Come, bring Maria. Prepare a delicious oven roast for Rosa. No, Maria. Looks delicious. Slice up your cow tits and make me a sandwich. What, that voice? Oof. An arm grabbed the back of the witch's head and smashed her face into the table. As it did, the witch broke to pieces, turned into a cloud of gold butterflies, and reformed into her body a short distance away. Valor? You bastard. I thought you'd surrendered so far that even your soul was furniture. Me too. But while I was listening to that gross recipe, I started to get a little hungry. Now I feel like eating a whole roast witch. And Maria, it's 10 years too early for you to talk about having someone eat you up. But in 10 years, you'd better say that to me. Promise. Ooh. Ooh, promise. But Battler-kun, sorry to keep you waiting, Aunt Rosa. I'd forgotten. This is a one-on-one fight between me and this woman. It's totally wrong for me to give in. Thanks to you hanging in there, I've got my will to fight back. This person, he gave up down to the depths of his soul and surrendered me, didn't he? I see, he doesn't know when to give up. Just what I'd expect from Ushimita Kinzo's grandchild. So the chick of a phoenix is a phoenix after all. Yeah, how dashing, how amusing. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have you any other way, Battler. Try to deny me, I'll completely and thoroughly smash you to bits. Let me make you surrender over and over again. I'll teach you, when it was licked my shoes, the taste of defeat over and over again. No problem. I'll teach you that I, Ushimita Battler, am a man who can stand back up even after crawling through the mud. I've never been invincible in a fight. I've lost odds at times, but I'll definitely crawl through the mud and stand up again. And then I'll finish this. In a man's fight, you don't lose until you accept defeat, no matter how much you get beat up. Don't think I'm out just because you took a shot at me. I'll give you a good show, Beatrice. I'll accept your challenge, Ushimita Battler. Furniture, begin preparations for the next game. While we're waiting, why don't you tell me all about it? There were a lot of closed rooms in this game. Using red, I've smashed to bits most of the methods by which you try to talk yourself out of them. What other evasive quibbles will you show me now? The walk to the chapel, the walk to Jessica's room, the walk to the servant room, the walk to Natsu's room, the walk to the parlor. Use your bizarre specialty, those delusions, rantings, daydreams, and bluffs, all isolated with ridiculous, incredible turns of events, and show how you can thoroughly deny me. It's useless. It's all useless. Dameda zenzen dameda. Sounds cooler in Japanese. I promise. He's not like giving up when he says that, by the way. He's like, it's supposed to be a cool guideline. But unfortunately, I'm not going to argue more about that stuff right now. It will come up, though. It will come up. We still have one more tea party left. I don't think the credits are too long, but this is probably still a good time for me to go reheat my coffee. So I'll be right back while these play, I guess. BRB. I totally forgot there was a local song here. Hi, Midori. Yeah, you're just coming in at the end of episode 2. But there is still the Witch's Tea Party left as well. This was just the end of the regular tea party. And if you're interested, I'll be playing Cataclysm Map for a while. A long while. My coffee's in the microwave right now. I have to watch these straws I used to drink the coffee with, because one of the cats seems to think they're like a toy. If I'm just holding this, he'll like find me, like stare at it, and like try to get over closer to it and steal it. And I don't really want my, straws, so I won't be sticking in my mouth. you know, like ripped apart, bit through by cat teeth and covered in cat spit. So I have to like hold on to these. I can't even set them down anymore. Felix will just get to them every time. Obviously. There's actually a lot of really good songs that haven't come up yet that I like. If you listen to this one, it's actually a local version of a song we've heard the instrumental of during the story. Was the credit in such a large font? I don't know. Stylistic choice, it's cool, I think. There's quite a few songs that have like both instrumental and vocal versions. My favorite songs haven't come up yet. There's one instrumental that comes up in a fight scene in episode 3 that I like a lot. I forget what it's called. Episode 4, I don't remember. What's in there? There's a song called Birth of New Witch that plays at the end of episode 6. That is one of my absolute favorites. Golden Nocturne comes up in episode 7. Then episode 8 has Recordando El Pasado. So honestly, like 6, 7, and 8 have some of my favorite songs, I think. Hey, no. You need to give up and go do something else. Stubborn cat. Alright, one more section left. Nope, nope. Good job. Good job, Hakanai. You closed the game. I was mashing left click. Didn't know my cursor was above edit. Let's try that again. Walked right out the door, then back in. I feel like this is maybe where we meet Lambda Delta. You'll see Race and Yukari in the next episode, though, episode 3. Well then, did you find that game enjoyable? When a game's that one-sided, it goes beyond riveting and becomes boring. My, but you're as harsh as always. Considering how proud I was to have created development so impeccable that it might satisfy even the boredom-hating Learny Burncastel, this response is quite harsh. Well, I'll admit it was impactful. However, it was horrible as a fair game. Unless you make the conditions a bit more even. You're saying there's no way to win? Not even for Lady Burncastel? I wonder what you mean by that, Pietro. There's no need to try and fool me. I already know that you're no bystander. Were you planning on hiding it? You're an outrageous person to come to someone else's territory from such a great distance to work against them. You came to watch from the sidelines and probably to push strongly for my defeat. I've guessed right, haven't I? And if so? Truly amusing that I should be granted a chance to fight against Lady Burncastel. The strongest of witches who defeated Lady Lambda Delta is truly a pleasure. Yes, I'm also pleased. I came all this way because I really wanted to see you, bring with confidence, fall apart and lose. What an honest person. Even so, it would be a shame if the contest between me and the great Lady Burncastel was resolved without at least one observer. You called her here, didn't you? That kid. New character time. Oh, I found you. I finally found you, Burncastel. How are you, Lambda? Looks like you've got lots of spare time too. I wonder if it's fate that the pair who hates boredom should run into each other again. Stupid kid. Can't you see you only won against me because of a little luck and a problem of compatibility? After that, you became such a brag, and now you're even picking a fight with Beatrice? Shouldn't you learn your place? Beatrice is strong, and she's even more brutal than I am. Just a bit. And by the way, don't go shorting people's names without their permission. You're dumb too, Beato. If this kid's in your game, she'll make a mess of everything. I certainly didn't just bring Lady Lambda Delta here to watch from the sidelines. After informing me that you were betting against me, she said that she would bet against you. You're still holding your grudge, aren't you? Oh ho ho, because I'm the strongest witch in the universe. But I lost you, which means I'm not the strongest. So any enemy of yours is my ally. And there you have it. With the great Lady Bernkastel as our opponent, this may not even count as a handicap, but it should make for good entertainment. Do as you like. Now that I've been exposed, allow me to get serious. That would be well. Going easy has never been written in my dictionary. Lady Lambda Delta, let us enjoy our precious time together. What you're seeing here might make a bit more sense if you read Higurashi, but it's by no means required. Just know that Bernkastel and Lambda Delta had a competition a long time ago, and that after a lot of repeat games, eventually Bernkastel won. Essentially, just think, you can think of it like Undertale, you know, in a genocide route, you keep reloading to beat Sans, and eventually you beat him just one time. There you go. That's essentially what happens. Without really spoiling anything in Higurashi, that's essentially what happens in Higurashi. I don't think that really spoils much. I've been betrayed pretty bad by her too. Until the two of us smash her up and pay her back double, I won't be able to rest. I'll be counting on you, Lambda. And you, Beato. No matter what we fight over, this will be a very significant battle for us all. That's right. Of course, I don't plan on losing, but we've got to go beyond who wins and who loses. Honestly, these two don't even need to be here, and we could still do Umineko. They're not required for Beatrice or anything. They're literally outsiders, like she's saying. After all, we hate boredom. The three witches giggled, cackled, and guffawed. That's right. I should thank you, Beato. It looks like I'll finally be able to escape my boredom. You best to entertain me, along with Lambda Delta. I think the Bernkastel related stuff is very late in Higurashi in a side novel, because of where I saw it in the anime. It's kind of like not addressed much. Leave it to me. But you can probably guess a little bit, which probably makes it interesting, honestly. If we're decided, Beato, then let's start a strategy meeting right now. I know all of this girl's weak points, and I'll teach you all of them. And yet, Lady Lambda Delta, you were defeated by her. I won't tell you. Soon. Ha 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 ha. She's never boring, that Lady Lambda Delta. Isn't she? Take care of her. She gets lonely easily. I see, though she's one of those that are popular these days. As expected from Lady Lambda Delta. Quite cunning age. Go already. That kid's waiting for you to chase after her. Then, if you'll excuse me. See you next game. See you next time in Umineko Episode 3. Please buy it when it comes out. I'm sorry. That troublesome one came, but don't mind it. More importantly, things sure got ugly. I thought I had experienced a very tragic end in Lambda's game, but this one is exceptionally horrible. I can't say I don't understand why you're hugging your knees and closing up your heart. If you meet a fate like that a few more times, it'll take a lot less than 100 years to kill your heart. Beata saw through me, so I'll confess. You are now just like I was in the past, when I was imprisoned inside Lambda's world. Shut inside a labyrinth of cruel fate, tormented by a witch, in a matter of speaking. I am a witch who was born from there, so maybe I'm like an older sister to you. So I decided that I'd lend you my power. However, even compared to my fate, yours is truly brutal. Not only do I sympathize with you, I'm almost brought to tears by your tragic fate. But please, don't lose heart. Please don't submit to Beato, no matter what. Certainly, that child's game is quite unfair. I've only been allowed a glimpse of the game board, but the unfair and clever devices set up on the stage are so disgusting that I imagine they far surpass those on Lambda Delta's game board. Yeah, small bombs. And what's even more frightening is that when that kid moves a piece, she doesn't always make the best possible move. This is where she's very different from Lambda. Lambda always uses an overpowering number of pieces to make the best possible move in order to win. But Beato sometimes intentionally goes easy on her opponent when she moves their pieces. Since, when we're in trouble, we try to seek out our opponent's strategy by looking at their moves. This creates a very formidable amount of noise in our information. That might cause a troublesome amount of disorder. However, as in chess, though a player might be able to create some noise for their opponent with a useless move, they'll still miss out on the more valuable move they avoided. As Umineko and Higurashi translate to, Umineko's seagull, Higurashi is cicada. So when the seagulls cry and when the cicadas cry. In other words, it's not like your opportunities to take advantage of this are zero. Although you may not be able to believe it, that analogy holds true for this game as well. Even though those developments look so overpowering, there actually was a weak point. Higurashi takes place in like a remote rural village during the summer, so there's a lot of cicadas. By the way, just if you know nothing about Higurashi and its setting. A weak point that almost looks like she wanted you to take advantage of it. Though I don't know if it's a trap or if she's teasing us. Anyway, don't surrender. Don't stop thinking. Don't deny any possibility. As long as you continue to hold the will to fight, Beato will not win. What's the most important element in defense during a witch's battle? Rather than trying to win, try not to lose. If accepting her means your defeat, then you definitely mustn't accept her. Making you accept witches. There is no longer any doubt that this is one of Beatrice's victory conditions. Now that I have announced that I'm your ally, I too will make as great an effort as possible to lend you my power. Make an effort yourself as well. If you're still hugging your knees, quickly stand back up. In times like this, what did I used to say again? Go for it. Yay. Nipa. It's so embarrassing doing this. I've done this much for you, so quickly stand back up. Wow, Higurashi connections. She did say the thing. Ah, there you are. I wonder where Burn shrank off to. Could you be any more lame? Even so, just like usual, the pieces Burn chooses are pretty shabby. It's the same with chess, right? If all your pieces were pawns, you'd have zero chance to win, right? If all your pieces were rooks and bishops, you definitely wouldn't lose. But, well, last time, right when I felt just a little pity and said she could start with her pieces anywhere she wanted, the idiot Burn, without taking notice of my compassion, started with all her pawns on my side of the board. What's up with that? That wasn't a loss or anything. Just remembering it makes me queasy. Because of that, I won't be able to rest until I see Burn's speechless face. And since Burn's piece, fucked up so bad, I'm feeling just great. Plus, she may not look it, but that girl really hates to lose. So I'll bet she's off somewhere grinding her teeth and crying her eyes out right now. How totally lame. Ho 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 ho. Come on, laugh with me. Ho 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 ho. Wait a sec. Are you still hugging your knees? You already like this just because Beato got a little serious? Could you be any more pathetic? You're so pathetic, I'll help you just a little bit. I, the great Lady Lambda Delta, the Witch of Certainty and the strongest in the universe, will bring your hopelessly low chances of winning just a little bit closer to certainty. You should thank me. You know, Beatrice may really be a cruel and powerful witch, but she's no match for me. Why? Because she's soft. Though she'll set up the board in a way that'll let her win with just a few more moves, she'll intentionally avoid cornering you. She'll do things like take worthless pieces and place excess pieces on the board to make things more one-sided. Simply put, she's got the bad habit of playing around as soon as she thinks she's won. Almost all the various attacks that hurt you and Burn look like utter waste and overkill to me. In other words, she's got a weakness when you've got a chance. See, she isn't an opponent to be afraid of, right? She sometimes mistakes her means for her ends, and she has too much dark fun. Sometimes that even ends up creating and exposing her on weak points. For a super powerful witch like me, it's hard to understand why she's able to act so tough. Why she lowers her own chances of winning. But, well, because of that, a witch like Burn, who likes to thoroughly read her opponent, has a really bad affinity with her. Because reading her doesn't work. Maybe it's really easy for Burn to read and handle a straightforward and honest type like me. Annoyingly enough. Well, still, a super firepower type like me can flat out beat up a light wide-range barrage type like Beatrice. So it's kinda like rock, paper, scissors. If I'm paper, Beato is rock, which means Burn is scissors. Well, maybe that doesn't matter. Even though my paper loses to Burn's scissors, if I was a sheet of super paper, which is way more awesome than normal paper, I could beat even scissors, right? Basically, I, Lady Lambda Delta, am super paper. Ho 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 ho. Super paper. Super Paper Mario. Looks like you've regained a bit of your color. That Beato, she's having fun torturing some piece called Rosa. At a glance, you'd think she has really nasty tastes, right? Wrong. She's just killing time, hoping that you'll stand back up in return. It's a move to fire up your righteous indignation by intentionally doing something detestable. Ah man, I hate kids like that. Anyway, I'll head on back. Huh. Don't tell anyone about me helping you out just a little bit. I mean, it's not like I helped you because I wanted to save you, okay? I, the strongest witch in the universe, had my throne stolen away when I lost to Burn. So I've got to take that throne back from her. If she loses to Beato here, that's Beato who'll get the position of strongest next, right? They're talking about her, I believe, yeah. Wouldn't really make any other sense otherwise. Well, it's not like I'm complaining. It'd be easier to steal the throne back from Beato, but then I wouldn't be satisfied, you see? I will defeat Burn, and I'll take back my position as the strongest. It's not like I'm really helping you, okay? I'll forgive you if you make Burn cry. Burn. And the Delta's more fun to read than I thought she'd be. It's been a while. Ugh. And there we go. That's finally episode 2 finished. Uncle Mion. I am super paper. It's good. It's the name of the achievement. Well done. Let's just take a look at the preview for 3. Banquet of the Golden Witch. Good morning. I'm quite surprised to see you still surrendered. The Golden Witch has extremely high hopes for you. Have you figured out the structure of this world by now? You have no chance at victory unless you know the rules. Please enjoy your game with the witch to your heart's content. The difficulty level is equal for both you and the witch. So noticeably, it's a standard, extreme, then equal. Interesting. So, I'm gonna give it a few days before I start episode 3 as a bit of a break in between, kind of a breather. Anyway, let me switch over to Cataclysm.